Hi guys, welcome to Art with Kelly Jones. I'm so excited to see you guys. We're doing a YouTube video today because I hear you guys are having a Pee Wee basketball tournament out in Des Moines today, and my son's actually going to be out there with you, and so am I. So I figured I'd send you videos instead so I could come see you guys in person. Today we're doing turtle-inspired artwork. The other class did some cool stuff too, so if you want to check that out, check it out on the YouTube video. But today, we're drawing turtles with oil pastels and watercolors. I promise it'll look better than this. This was my experimental page. But you're going to need oil pastels, watercolors, water, a paintbrush, some paper towel, and you might want to use a pencil. Just so you can kind of get an idea where you want your lines to be, okay? And the big thing I want you to notice here are the shapes that we're using. I'm going to start out with kind of an oval that goes off the page and a second oval inside. And then we're doing hexagons for the shell. A hexagon has 6 sides, and I'll show you how to draw those. And then the outer edge has these like rectangles where the hexagons meet and then go off the edge. Then we're going to do some arms and a head, and if you want, it can have a cute little eyeball. My daughter Brady is here with me. Look at her eyeball. It's adorable. So you can do that however you like. And then we're going to do some kinds, almost like a tie-dye effect to fill the spaces. And you can use whatever colors you want. I chose to do warm colors here and cool colors out here, but you could do the whole thing, green and blues and yellows if you want. It's up to you. So to start, we're going to get our paper, and I'm going to do mine on a littler piece of paper because I'm running low on the good paper today, and this is my good paper. So again, we're going to start with like an off-centered oval, like going off the page like that. And then hopefully you have a little bit bigger piece of paper than I do. Mine's really tiny. And then I'm going to do another oval on the inside to show like this is going to be the edge of our shell, our turtle shell. Okay? It's like a little rim. And then we're going to start in with the hexagons, the 6 sides. And what I've found, the best way to do it is do like some wide, almost like 90-degree angle, greater than and less than alligators, or whatever you want to call them, crescendo, decrescendo, on the sides like that. And then flat lines right there and right there, okay? If you do it that way, then you already have your flat line set up for the next one, and you can just do another greater than, less than, or crescendo, decrescendo in a straight line. And then you just keep going down, another one, greater than, less than, okay? So I can go this way, greater than, less than, all the way down, and then this is like the flat part, okay? And then over here you already have the pointy part. You already have another greater than, less than on this side, so you can just do a straight line going down and go up a little bit down. Straight line, and then another greater than and less than, one on each side, greater than, less than, straight line. And then you just keep on using the points that are already there, the greater thans and less thans, and you just keep using those as your guide, okay? If you end up with diamonds or circles or squares, it's fine. It's art. You can do the shapes that you want, right? Because it's your thing. I think I'm going to do the head next. So the head is kind of a lemon shape, sort of. With a little bit of extra for neck. So I'm going to come out a little bit of the top for the neck, And then try to do somewhat of a lemon shape. That's almost, looks like way too pointy. I mean, they do have a little bit of a pointy kind of beak, but it's not that pointy. And then I'm going to, I think it kind of looks like lemon. I'm going to give it like a bottom lip, like that. And this is where you can put the eyes and kind of make them really cute, or you can just do a simple eye. It's up to you. If you like to do little gleams in their eyes and eyelashes, you can, but I don't even know if turtles have eyelashes, so that's fine. And then I'm going to do the arms coming off the side. Fins, I meant, not arms, but more like fins. So you should have some kind of a turtle shape by the end of this piece. So now we got to start, oh yeah, so wherever your hexagon lines meet this outer rim, you're going to put a straight line, just going down like that. So wherever the lines meet, you can put straight lines. And then the fins are kind of up to you how you want to design them. I kind of just put mine all over the place, but let's go ahead and look up a real sea turtle real quick and see what they look like. Sea turtle. I want to see, okay. Oh. Here's a cool picture from the New Georgia Encyclopedia. Look, see how they have that actual, like, almost like a tie-dye starburst type pattern on the shell. But then when you look at their arms, it's hard to see, they're just kind of all over the place. It's almost like they have like a toe shape on this side and then little tiny ones to fill in. But I think like wherever you want to put the designs, you can. See? Look at that. Isn't that pretty? It's a real turtle shell. But also notice the neck doesn't really have any designs until a little bit farther up, so I'm going to do that on my turtle and do that, and I won't put any weird designs here. I'll just start up here on its head. Then on its head we'll maybe do kind of like a shapes and just go with it.
I'm changing the shape of the turtle food. Because I keep on messing it up and then there's like one point, like, do you see what I mean?
Oh yeah, you can do whatever shape you want really, because it's art. You could almost do it like it was going to be a hexagon and then just make them not hexagons, you know? Like make them roundy or something like that. So that's kind of, I don't like how that turned out. I'm going to make my neck go down a little bit farther. It's almost too much of an abrupt straight line there. There we go. All right. So once you get your turtle drawn, it's okay if it takes you a little bit longer, or if it took you shorter, that's fine. I'm actually going to use white to outline mine. You can use black if you want. I'm going to use white because I think it'll look cool if I can get it to work right. But before you do it, I would clean your white. And what I mean by that is your white oil pastel gets messy, and so sometimes it picks up other colors, and you don't want to streak like bright red across your white. So I'm just going to kind of clean it by coloring on a piece of paper to get those colors off. And then, oops, look what I did. Oh well. I was trying not to do that, but I flipped my colors upside down and it transferred. Anyway, I'm going to take the oil pastel and outline all of the pencil that I did. I mostly did the pencil so you could see what I was doing. But if I was like really good at drawing turtles freehand, just the first time, I would probably actually just use the white and not the pencil. But then I didn't think you could see, so I'm doing it that way. outlining the pencil. It got all messy with the black. The shapes aren't shaping.
No.
The hexagons are not hexagoning.
Oh my gosh, the whole eraser's falling off.
I have this big eraser if you want to use that. So I'm trying to outline all of these because eventually I'm going to go over it with some watercolor to show like the seawater in the background. And I want to make sure that the watercolor does not go where I want the outlines to be. So angry that I messed the black up on. That's alright. Alright. So I'm going to use my black oil pastel to fill in the eye. Okay. Okay, the rest of it I'm going to use colors for. I really kind of like how the red and orange looks in contrast to the blue and green and yellow, and so I'm going to stick with that, I think. So you can do like yellow in the middle and do like a starburst out and then orange and then red, or you could do like yellow and green. But that one picture of the actual turtle that I showed you, I really kind of like that. So I think I'm going to actually try a different design that starts with yellow, like that, because that's kind of what that real turtle looked like. And on all the hexagons, I'm going to do that design. Starting small, just with the center color, and then I'm going to add 2 more colors coming out of my whole starburst. Turtles are so cool. Maybe someday I'd like to own a pet turtle. Maybe. But I know they live for a really long time, so that is a commitment if you're going to own a turtle. So in not in Maxwell, sorry, in Trinidad, in the high school, we have this little ecological area in the middle of the high school. The high school is kind of set up like a figure eight almost, and inside of the figure eight holes there's little like nature areas. Well, only in one of them. The other one's just rocks. But in the nature areas, they built like this little ecosystem with some ponds and some turtles. And sometimes some of my students bring their pets like rabbits and let them run around in there. And it's just kind of a cool little area. There's koi fish and stuff like that. But anyway, they have 2 turtles in there, a big one and like a little baby one. And they've started coming out of hibernation, so we see them a lot more often now. We were hanging out with each other yesterday. It was pretty cool. I'm hoping someday they decide to do an ecosystem in the other one, because right now it's just rock and it's kind of boring.
Make it into a rock ecosystem.
They could make it like an ecosystem with like drought tolerant plants. I think the ones in the current one are drought tolerant, but like without a water source, I mean in the second one maybe. It's pretty neat. We have a really cool science teacher that does a lot of ecosystem things where the students for assignments have to take like a habitat and make a habitat for some kind of living organism, whether it's a plant or an animal. And so I don't know if you guys knew this, but I have a salamander that just walked into my classroom in Maxwell. It's the second time that that's happened. And so when I moved to the Trinidad schools, I brought my salamander with. Its name is Chicken 2.0. And it's a tiger salamander, so it's black and green stripes, and it's really cool looking. Yeah, he's hanging out in my classroom right now. But anyway, one of the students, well, a couple actually, for their project, for their assignment, they had to take a really big tank and make it into an ecosystem for my salamander. So now I have a really nice big tank in my classroom that's growing plants and mosses and things for my little salamander. So it's fun. And I leave them in there most of the week, but I bring them home on the weekends that are long, or like we've got spring break or Christmas break or something, or winter break, I mean. So he's not lonely because he's super interactive. He'll like track your fingers if you put your fingers on the outside of the tank, and you can feed it by hand. Pretty cool. I bet you guys have more lizards and things in Des Moines than salamanders, but maybe you have salamanders. I don't remember ever seeing one when I was working out there, but oh, and you guys have like the little horny toads. Those are cool. I don't have a lot of those in Trinidad. Okay, when I did this the first time, this turtle, I did white around the edge, and I don't like how it turned out. It didn't repel the water enough, so I'm going to use yellow this time. Just kind of block it in a little bit to make sure that that color's there when I go over it with the watercolor this time. I think the yellow will repel it a little bit better. Something wrong with my white pastel. Actually, one of my students came out to me today and showed me that they have this massive tank and they're not sure what to do with it. I was thinking, like, it would be really fun to hatch chickens or bunnies. Well, not hatch bunnies, but like breed bunnies or something like that. Something different. I think I'm going to do black, maybe. I don't know. I don't have very much black left. Maybe I'll do green. I'll do green. I'm just going to use solid dark green this time, I think. See what happens. It's the first time I've done this project, so I'm doing some experimenting. You know what else I always thought would be cool to have is like a pet bird. They last a long time too. They live for a really long time, so you gotta be like really totally committed. Not that other animals don't last a long time, but like, you know, big dogs and things only last for like, they only live for, their lifespan is shorter because they're bigger, you know. So, and like smaller dogs and cats and things live a lot longer. So if you're ever planning to move or something, you really got to think about all that before you commit to getting a big animal. Like horses, those last for a really long time, right?
I don't know.
Well, good. Mine's kids have a lot more bigger animals like that, I think. Plus, you gotta think about, is it hard for you to find the food that they eat? Like my salamander likes to eat grasshoppers and crickets, but it's harder to find those during the winter. So you gotta like stock up on crickets and mealworms and stuff like that when you go to town, like to Pueblo or something. Alright, I'm gonna do its head. Get a little bit of that green here. Oops, I don't like that color. It's too yellow. Green, more green. And finally cover up that black that I got all over the head of my turtle. This reminds me of that line from Alice in Wonderland where he's like talking about the mock turtle and he's like, his name was Tortoise because he taught us. Alright, I think my turtle is done. That's okay. Can I show him the back of your turtle?
Wait, let me finish this.
Okay.
The bottom.
Yeah. So my daughter chose to do pinks and purples like an ombre effect, so you're welcome to do something like that too if you want. A fiery fan or a starburst, however you want to fill it. I'm using a really big paintbrush if you have one. Those work really good for the watercolor, but if you have just a little one, you can use just your little one too. So I'm going to do blues and greens to show that it's kind of like the ocean. And then I'll cross my fingers with this works. Because last time I did it, my white was not repelling. A bit more careful this time.
Did you outline it with white still?
I did outline it with white, but my white was not repelling very good, so I'm nervous about it. I'm trying to be careful and not go across it on purpose, but you can. You should be able to if your white is better than my white. I'm going to try it. I'm just going to try going across its arm and see what happens. So if you have like a spare paper towel next to you that's got nothing on it, this might be a good use for it. You see how some of it's like piling up on top of the white and just sitting there? It's going to dry like that if you let it. So if you like that, you can leave it, but if you don't like it, you kind of go over it with a paper towel and get some of it off. Because I'd rather it show up white on the white, you know? So I'm going to do that and see what helps. And then, ooh, see? In all the spots where you didn't color, it's going to soak in. And if it's sitting on top like that, you know you did a good job coloring. Okay, so now I'm going to go back and dab it with a paper towel. Try to get some of that wetness off. This one did alright. I did alright with this one. I colored enough, it looks like, solidly enough. We'll across the head and try not to destroy it. And I'm going to dab it with a paper towel. Dab. think my second one turned out a lot better than my first one. My first one was just like really fast. And I like it better without the black outline. It turned out pretty cute. Pretty cute.
Not even close.
That's okay. It's alright if it takes you a while. If you want to do a really good job and detailed and take your time coloring as much of the colored part in as you can first. And then it'll repel the water better, so it looks better when you're done. But you can pick whatever color scheme you want to pick, so that's kind of neat. Anyway, that's that. I'm going to take a picture and post this so that you guys have some art to do tomorrow when you're not busy playing basketball, but I'm excited to see you, and I will see you next time. Bye!